Come to a seated position with your legs stretched wide away from you, facing the long side of your yoga mat. And you're, of course, welcome to have any kind of cushion underneath you that helps us feel comfortable. And as you position yourself, you're invited to close your eyes, perhaps. You can always just look down at the floor in front of you as well. Let your arms relax down by your side or on your thighs, whatever feels comfortable. And breathe here, a nice deep inhale through the nose and out through the nose. And as you settle into your body and into this moment, notice if there are any expectations that you've brought with you to this practice, whether it's an expectation of yourself, of your body, or of the practice itself. And you're invited to just release that and find a freedom from any expectation, an openness to whatever happens. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes if they're closed. And with your hands just down to support you, or maybe actually grabbing hold of your rib cage, we're just going to do some lateral glides. So just leaning our ribs over to one side and then the other. And if this is kind of like, wait, what? It's just that kind of movement as if you wanted to put your arm around your honey sitting on the sofa, right? You're like, hey. Right? So it's just a leaning over to the side. As you breathe, making these movements as quickly or as slowly as you like, maybe even exploring with faster or certainly slower movements here. And I like to have my hands on my rib cage to do it, just to help me understand if my body is doing what I think it's doing. And it can be really helpful as we go into what's next. So when you're ready, we're going to circle the rib cage around. And imagine that the top of your head is attached to something. So your head is not moving in space. So it's not a movement like that. It's just through the ribs. Your sit bones are grounded down, as if you're just allowing your ribs, your thoracic spine really, to find a sense of freedom. Just getting really syrupy and honey-like there, circling in both directions, breathing as you go. Of course, always pausing. If there's anywhere that just feels like, okay, that just needs a little bit more breath or awareness. And when you're ready, just bring your hands down, release those circles. And if it feels comfortable, maybe already you can start to just shimmy your hips a little bit more forward, coming deeper into that wide-legged position. Maybe you shift out of it, whatever. But we're going to just walk the hands forward. Try and keep the knees pointing up towards the ceiling though. And just walk the hands as far forward as they can go. Maybe for you that's not very far. Maybe that's just today. Maybe it's always. Doesn't matter. Remember, no expectations. Just walk the hands back. Just kind of seeing where we are right now. And once you've got your hands back next to you, just using them to support you, I want you to move through some cat-cow. So just arching and rounding the spine. Maybe you take the head along with you. Okay. But make sure that the thoracic spine is moving, but certainly also the pelvis is moving. So you're actually rolling along the bottom of your pelvis through these cat-cow movements, just like with the thoracic circles, moving as quickly or as slowly as you like, pausing if you need to. And we're going to continue these cat-cow movements, just taking the hands kind of a step or two forward, maybe on fingertips, maybe palms are flat, whatever feels good. And again, just repeat that cat-cow movement. Allow the elbows to bend. Allow a softness through the spine, through the shoulders, through the neck. Just a little bit of activation, trying to keep the kneecaps pointing up towards the ceiling. But even if they go in whatever direction, just let them be free. And again, we're gonna walk the hands more forward. So for you, maybe you've got your elbows extended. Maybe you lower the elbows down. Okay, different options, just to find what works for you. And again, just cat-cow. And maybe as you're here, you even can shimmy yourself a little bit deeper as your hips start to open up into this extreme abduction. And we're gonna pause wherever you can get to, where you can just breathe. So maybe 30% sensation of a stretch, and take a deep inhale really quickly, and then just let it out naturally. 2 more like that. Doesn't matter if you don't fill your lungs up entirely, just do it as quickly as you can through the nose, and then let it out. 1 more time, nice and quick. As much as you can, as quick as you can, and then release. And what this does is it actually stimulates a part of the brain that helps with this position. So just notice if that's helped you go a little bit deeper again. And if not, remember, there's no expectations. All right, when you're ready there, we're gonna walk the hands back up. And you can lean back into your hands or do this hands-free, depending on how gentle or active you wanna make this. We're just gonna bend the left knee, pulling the left heel as close to the hips as we can, and maybe even just use your hands to pull it as close as you can. Bring your arms to the back of your head and just lean over towards that right leg, the right foot. And you can stay here, just kind of prop yourself up, chill out. If it feels good to reach and grab that foot, you can do that. But I want you to bring your awareness to that left knee and the left hip, and just gently press that left knee away from you, opening up through the inside of the left hip as you breathe. Good, 1 more full inhale. And on your exhale, bring the elbows towards each other, the chin to the chest. Stay low as you just kind of swing your body over towards that left shin, and then open the elbows wide, staying low though. So you're pressing the back of your left shoulder into the left shin. And again, breathe here as you look up towards the ceiling, just getting a kind of a twisted action here, helping open up that left thigh a little bit more. Again, another inhale. And on your exhale, again, we're gonna bring the elbows towards each other, chin to the chest, stay low as you shift over to the right, open the elbows up, and then just keep moving back and forth. Close the elbows, round through the spine to shift over to the left, and then open them back up, looking up to the ceiling. Round through the spine as you migrate over to the right leg, still pressing the knee out wide, and back over to the left leg. Good. And then just kind of release your hands, but keep your shoulder there around that left knee. Use your hands down to support you. Come up onto the tiptoes of that left foot and press the left arm into the left thigh, and see if you can use that just as a little kickstand for your leg, and see if you can straighten that left leg out and then just let it slide down. Just for a bit of fun. And again, maybe just position your legs here. We're going to, again, slide that left toe in towards the hips, using your hands behind you for support if you want to. Stay here and just windshield wiper that leg. So bringing the left knee over towards the right knee, an internal rotation, and then all the way over to the front of the mat. Same as before. Maybe you're like, I feel really energetic, I've got some steam to burn and I want to move fast, but maybe you're in a very exploratory mood and you're moving super slowly, or maybe that's just the energy, the vibe that you've got going on right now, whatever. I encourage you to move on your own terms. It is your body, and I really want you to find freedom in your body. So move in the way that feels good for you, but we're going to come to stillness with that left knee still bent, pointing over to the front of the mat. Lean over, maybe onto a hand, so you can pick up that right leg and just swing it all the way around, pulling the right leg towards you with the left hand to come into a cow face pose. If this is not happening for you right now, maybe you take the left foot flat, the right foot, even over to the right side of the shin. So whatever variation feels right for you right now. Sitting up nice and tall though. Even maybe grabbing some blocks. Pause the video to grab something, a cushion to sit on if you need to here. Maybe add a few of those little thoracic spine movements. When we can kind of free up the thoracic spine, that helps open up through the hips. So just finding that freedom there. And holding on to the leg shape that we're in now. Just lean back, hold on to your shins or your ankles, and kind of roll back and forth. If this does not feel good for you, rolling on your back, then you can just hold and just enjoy the stretch. But we're just gonna use this to help release those hips as well. And then rising back up, this time everybody plant the right foot down over to the left side of you. Bring your left hand behind you and just lean some weight into that left hand so you can lift your hips up and slide the left knee over towards that left hand. Turn the right toes to face the front of the mat. Maybe even shimmy them a little bit further away from you. And just crawl your hands so you're staying in a kind of forward fold position over towards that right foot, bringing the shoulder to the inside of the right knee. Take the left hand to the back of the head and open up. So same kind of thing as before when we were sitting down. Just a little bit different. So we're going to kind of keep that roundedness as we go through center and lower the hips down onto the left heel, straightening the right knee. If this feels uncomfortable, maybe try it with the left toes tucked under, okay? But lean that left hand forward, right hand stays down as a kickstand. Lift the hips back up, press your hips over towards that right knee as it bends, taking a little side bend with the left hand behind the head, and then take it back down, left hip. Hips to the left heel as you reach the arm forward. So feel like that, just moving back and forth with your breath, with that awareness of what's happening, a curiosity and openness. Alrighty, and we're gonna finish in this kind of baby warrior 2 position. And just take a moment here to see if you can get a little bit deeper into the stretch. And what we're looking for is to tuck the tailbone under, so a posterior tilt through the pelvis as if you're trying to shoot that left sit bone as far forward as you can. Maybe bend a little bit more into that right knee if it feels good for you. And taking the right ear towards the right shoulder. You can pause here, stay here, breathe, or maybe you can add a few little hip circles. So just circling, they're going to be very tiny. It's kind of hard to move here, but that's why we're doing it. It's just helping to find a little bit more depth, a little bit more movement through the joints by adding these tiny little hip circles here in this position. Alrighty, again, just noticing if there's anywhere that maybe you just want to pause and hang out there a little bit, give it a breath or two. And finally, we're going to sink back towards that left heel, but pull the left heel inwards so that you can sit down on your butt and release that left leg straight. So we come back into our straddle, our wide-legged position. And again, take a moment here, just getting yourself into place, just noticing how those inner thighs are feeling, how the hips are feeling, how the spine is feeling. And again, we're going to walk the hands forward, just about halfway down, and add a little cat-cow. And if you notice that maybe in that kind of cow position, so when you're back bending, you get a little bit of a deeper stretch, or maybe for you it's when you're rounding through the spine and you're in that more cat shape, so the posterior tilt of the pelvis, or somewhere in between. And if you just want to kind of stay there where the stretch is a little bit more intense, and maybe take the hands a little bit further away from you, but we're going to try another little drill where you just flick your eyes upwards. So just without using your head, just look up with the eyes and breathe with the eyes focused on something up above. And again, this just kind of helps the part of the brain that helps this position. So just notice if that helps you find a little bit more depth here. Releasing, of course, any expectation for it to do that. And when you're ready, we'll walk the hands back. Good. All right, so just like before, this time take the right heel all the way to the hips. Use your hands to support you. Use your hands to bring it in a little bit closer. Take your hands behind your head and lean over towards the left foot. Breathe here. Maybe you release the arms if that feels better for you. But press that right knee back behind you and away from you. Just to get a little bit more openness there. It's okay if the sit bone is lifting up off of the floor a little bit. Maybe, see what happens if you reposition to get that sit bone grounded. But yeah, it's more just about pressing the knee away from you, getting into the hips. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring the elbows towards each other, round through the spine as you just shift over towards that right foot and then open back up, lifting the left elbow up, spinning the face to look up towards the ceiling, pressing your body into the right shin, just to help open it up a little bit more. Maybe play around with giving your glutes a little squeeze and see if that helps. Good, and then back and forth a few times. So just rounding the spine as you move through center, opening up at each side, wringing out the spine, breathing, and enjoying it for what it is. All right, and when you're ready, we'll pause with our body over at that right shin. Release the hands, but keep the shoulder nestled into that right knee. Come up onto the tiptoes, plant the hands down. See if you can just press your arm into the leg to straighten the leg up and then just let it fall. A little bit of control, but nothing too crazy. All right, then using your hands back behind you or hands free. Again, we're gonna pull the right knee, the heel towards the hips. Let that knee go towards the front of the mat and then shimmy it to give the left knee a little kiss. So back and forth a few times. Just as before, you can use your hands supporting you. So it's not so much of a core workout. You're just getting into that hip. If you want to, though, you can do it hands free and you'll feel a little bit more muscle activation. All right. Just make sure you're breathing. And when you're ready, finishing with the right knee to the front of the mat, using your hands to support you or not, just pick up that left leg up, leaning over to allow it to swing around. Use your hands if you need to come into Lord of Fishes with the foot down wherever you can get it, or maybe a little Cowface pose. And again, pausing here, maybe adding a little bit of thoracic movement. Maybe you want to get the movement into the neck. And just as we did those lateral glides through the thoracic spine at the beginning, you can maybe play around with that with the neck as well. Maybe some circles through the neck. Just allowing, the neck's a part of our spine too, so allowing that to kind of get nice and mobilized as well. And then holding on to your legs, see if you can roll back onto your back, holding the shape through the legs. Stay here, or if it's comfortable, just get a little bit of a roll going. Finding a sense of freedom and playfulness as you roll around here, and then coming all the way back up. Planting the left foot down flat, bring your right hand towards the back of the mat, lift the hips up and slide the right knee towards that right hand. Point the left toes to the front of the mat, maybe just walk them, shimmy them a little bit further away from you. Walk your hands down over towards that left foot, and then take the right hand to the back of your head and open up. Take a breath here. Maybe your shoulder is pressing into your knee. Maybe your knee is pressing into your shoulder. And as you exhale, just staying low, reaching forward with that hand. Lower the hips onto the right heel. Toes can be tucked under, remember, if that feels better for you. And then rise back up into that stretch. Little baby warrior 2, I like to call it, but we're actually getting into the obturator nerve there, which is good for our inner thighs. So lean it forward as you take the hips down, rise back up, And flow between these two postures a few times. You know, there's definitely days when even this feels like too much. So if you want to just pause in each place and not go back and forth, you can absolutely do that too. But we're going to finish with, in this like baby warrior 2, and just see if we can go a little bit deeper, getting into that nerve a little bit more by tucking the tailbone, maybe bending a little bit more into that left knee, taking the left ear to the left shoulder. And if it feels comfortable for you, a few little hip circles here in each direction. Maybe this helps you go a little bit deeper here. And for sure, if you find that any of these movements make your range of motion smaller, less, then definitely take that as a sign that your nervous system's not so crazy about that movement, and so maybe hold off on that. All right, so we're gonna come out of that, leaning back towards that right toe, right foot, but allowing the foot to come inward so we land on our bums, and then just straighten the legs back out. Coming back one more time into our wide-legged forward fold. If you need to, maybe add a few more sort of cow face, eagle legs, little cross-legged positions, and maybe even give the inner thighs a little rub. And one final little test, just walk the hands one last time towards that pancake, and just notice as you pause in a position where, again, you're feeling maybe a 30% sensation. Just notice if this feels, if you feel a little bit more open, a little bit more free. And certainly, as long as you can breathe, that definitely gives us this sense of freedom. No matter where we are, no matter what position we find ourselves in. So you can stay there or rise back up, just to take a moment to notice how you're feeling in your body and releasing any expectation or any obligation, just to notice if you feel like doing another flow, this flow again perhaps, or just moving on with the rest of your day.